I hope you guys are having fun. I wasn't able to join the poetry crew, but now here I am. My name is Amal Yusuf, and this is my second time auditioning, presenting my poems. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So, it's called Who Am I? Who am I? They call me oppression, the thing that takes a woman's dignity and leaves them with depression. I seem to give people a bad impression without moving my lips or making any other expression. They are threatened by the fact that I have a meaningful interpretation, so they change my meaning to suit their own definition. Who am I kidding? I mean, they only protect their own identification but can't admit their obsession, so they construct an aggression to the idea of modification. Why go through this progression to create all this attention? Because of your opinion? Hold on. I think I should thank you for the notification to the entire population. Now that information has spreaded, people can get education. So again, they ask me, who am I? I proudly say, I am a protection, the shield of salvation, covering the heart from deception, part of a legislation, which limits discretion for my own oppressification. So they make this great position in this religion that I was extracted from. For conclusion, I bring no harm to publication. So, defining myself, one last time, who am I? Using 4 words, I am a hijab.
Convulsing, and their solution is to kill half of the human populace. Electrical grids wrap the earth like ley lines. Nomads charge their phones on solar panels and rivers dry up. Here, the conscious suffer the worst price. The third one, the last one I'm going to do is in Somali. Basically, this was I had worked on a translation of a poem written by Abdijaliil that was in a chain of poems called Silay. And I worked on it a lot, and I became kind of a bit obsessed with the chain of poems. I think there were like 20 odd poems in it. And I really wanted to reply to it. And so yeah, the chain of poems is debated what it was about. Some say it was about nationalism. Some say it was about a girl, because there was a lot of cerebral, there was a lot of like metaphor in it. But this is my understanding of it. This is my reply to it, and it's called Mombasa Sheekada. Raggiisiinka tirin jiray, heesaha sargoyn jiray, raggii saafi jiray eray. Saxarla faaliyo saadaal dorosliyo afmaldahan sirbeed iyo suugaan ku lari jiray safkoodaan ku biiray sanadkeena maanta waxaa jira sakale iyo suuyo la isu qoolaya balansaaf maadsada saban waliba xaalkiis subax waliba waagiis saami waliba qaybtii ogoobay silsiluhu sadku waa ku kala gaar wayna kala sareeyaan suugaantu waa daris software aan gurin cilmi laga sadqaato lagu soo hay taariikh sunsun waaye wada tahan wixii sura ku dhaafaa ku yimaado dabkii shalay ku saaqaa maantana ku sugaye waayaha dalsuure dadka saaran dunida isku soo casuuya isku sayramida baan hamigood saluuge saqay waaye damacood seef waaye sanamkood kibir waaye sawdkood naxariisna wausuus kala saarka waa sixir system waaye aad badan guluf waaye sayma leh ninna soogar kaga noqoy ninna side kaba dhaaf saadamba maxay noqon ninkii yiri su'aashaas aanoo ku sargoynayn aan saafa hadalkee sabadeen waa oon soorteen waa been safarkeenu dhalantee riyo soo jireen iyo giddi waa maqaarsaar sahankii mariikh iyo la gaarsiiyey sahan. This is like some cerebral ku jira waayo raggi tiriyay silsidaas ku jiray maasooyinka tiriyay iyaga la cerebral adeegsanayso anigu waa marka ka jawaabi waayaan anigu cerebral adeegsado sahankii mariikh iyo la gaarsiiyey saxalkii inuu saaka dhiifiyo silcibaas ku nool yahay mala socota sheekada saxarliyo warkeeduna way sidin dhaqaaqdo soorkii afaysnaa garbaduub silsilad iyo seeta adag in lagu laray mala socota sheekada riyadana seeftii lagu sugi lahaa baa sidigtani lagu qalay xeeraduna sidii bay uga sooman tahay geer mala socota sheekada warankiina sooyaa samaydiisu waa dhuxul mid la sima la waayo mala socota sheekada sama wada cismaanow nin sunnaha ku dhaatiyo waxaan ahay qof salafi ah oo saluugsan waayaha safarkaygu waa meel sababtiisu waa xeer saldhigiisu waa nabad soomaaloo isjecelo tawxiidku soor iyo u yahay sidii yaquud oon saatir mooye u sujuudin cid kale saf kaliya ku wada jira oo wada sokeeya ah saankeedii baan ahay.
You're from the, I don't know, my birthday generation. The January 1st becomes every immigrant's rebirth generation. The home becomes a bed of thorns without the rose generation. The family becomes everything when they're scattered like leaves across the globe generation. The Ano girl beat 7 up generation. The A for Alpha, B for Bravo, T for Tango generation. The I've seen as many deaths as births generation. The I was a mechanic there, but they don't trust me with their equipment here generation. The I have too many siblings to count on one hand generation. The I have too many siblings to count, period generation. But the I know the names of all my ancestors like the back of my hand generation. The I love you in ways you can't translate, in ways you sometimes hate generation. You're from the, I don't know, my birthday generation. The January 1st becomes the default generation, but I guess there's something in you choosing your birthday. Something in you beginning life all over again. See, when life becomes survival rather than living, you don't hold onto dates, you don't hold onto the past. All you can think of is never letting your breath slip out of your grasp. But I guess you're an alchemist, making a home out of here, molding gold out of dust, morphing fear into joy, and sometimes even trust. Thank you. So my second and last poem is called Wedding Song, and it's just inspired by Somali weddings, which is one of my favourite parts of the culture. And yeah, I just feel like it's the one place where everyone just comes with so much joy. And I think it's just a beautiful representation of what our culture is. We ululate into the night. Here, laughter weds life. Joy transcends into the sky. My people are the aftermath of rain. They filter through the room like waves. They're the proof of ease after pain. And I've never seen a rainbow as bright. Beards dripping in sunsets. The blue of our diraks are taken out from Bosaso, Beroa, Berbere's beaches. And my people shine on me as the sun does, spilling gabe and tea from dusk till dusk, air dancing in musk. Here, love is a must. We speak poems and trust. We build towers out of mud. But sometimes we lose a part of our tongues. Like Babel, no longer able to find the mother in us. But my people talk with their hands. They walk as if they run this land like camels through the deserts and the sands. They carry mountains on their backs. And so here, we ululate into the skies. Streaks of blues and whites drape my tongue on these nights. And I swear to you, my people are the cloud silver lines, the cup half full, the Ramadan moon, the proof of life. And though sometimes we may be gap-toothed, tongue-tied, sometimes stumbling, we wear pride like second skin. Here, ships never sink. Here, survival taught us how to fly and how to swim. Here, Impero Italiano are no longer let in. Here, we aren't cups half full. No, we are cups filled to the brim. Thank you.
I am supposed to present a play in Somali, and I want to tell these youngsters here, thank you so much, especially Hersi. And they actually, I'm about to like shedding tears already, because if these are people, the future generations, the people who, our children, the friends of our children, if these are, we already succeeded, okay? Now, we already succeeded. These people, the young lady, what was her name? Yeah, the one who did the poetry. Yeah, please keep on. And I have a play. My play was 32,000 words. Then I realized I don't need 32,000 words to communicate message in Somali. I reduced it to less than 2,000 words. From 32,000 words to less than 2,000 words. I will give you the gist of the play before I say it in Somali. It is, the first thing I'm talking about is the nation we are. A bellless, you know, the milk camel. You know the milk camel? We call it she camel or milk camel, the one you depend on for milk. A milk camel in a labor pain, lost with her calf without a bell. Okay? The people who are supposed to look for the milk camel sent a blind man. The camel has no bell. The person who was sent to look for it has no sight. How will he find that camel? And my accent is a bit, I'm from Kenya. So I'll speak English like an African because they brought it to us, you know, we did not ask for it. So a milk camel without a bell, lost with her calf, a milk camel in a labor pain, lost with her calf without a bell. People who were to find it sent who? They sent a blind man to look for it. The camel has no bell, the man has no sight. Will they ever find each other? Now we are talking about the leadership. Our life is lost like that camel. The people we send as leaders are sightless, people who don't see anything. So our life is lost. Those we entrusted to look for it have no sight. So we will never find our life unless this young generation, these beautiful faces, change things, okay? Now let me say in Somali, qoltigela folumad qoryala bashishto qof indhool alloo diray qabar wuba soo helay qoonkii sugaayo qarow lama rumeeye tan qof ay tu kala qabo. That is the whole thing. If a person, a she camel lost with her calf, people sent a blind man. If in your imagination you think that person will find that, it is, you live in illusion and you live in myth. The second one is, normally when we talk about news and we talk about truth, you know truth? What is truth? Truth is nothing but somebody else's narrative. What we call truth, what we call fact, most of the time it's somebody else's narrative. So we hear news. This news was cooked in such a way that it was supposed to be sold to you in that way. You take it as a gospel truth. You take it as this is what it is. this noise we hear, from BBC to Channel 4 to Sky News, all this stuff we hear, if you take it as truth, it's somebody else's narrative. Your narrative, you remember that idea of if a tree falls in the desert or in the forest, whether you hear it or you did not hear it, it happened. What up? Somali and in Somali dhabtu hadday caano tahay ma dhay baa mise dhanaan hadday dhabtu caano tahay ma dhay baa mise dhanaan. When you say truth is milk, for example, how many type of milk do you have? How many type of milk do we have? 3. More than 3. When you count the animals, goat milk, camel milk, cow milk, then divide the milk inside. Are they fresh? Do you call them milk when they are fresh? What do you call them when they are not fresh? They're still milk. Are they the curd or the whey when the milk separates? Are they the curd or the whey, the milky, the grayish water that milk produces after getting spoiled? Which is milk now? So the truth is like that. So this play, let me talk about the play a bit. The play is talking about a Somali family in a place called Kuhublei. The setting is Garissa. Is there anybody coming from Garissa here? Yeah, I have one person. And as somebody, let's say, the family is family of 5. The family is family of 5. And something happened to them. The first, the father, the mother, and the 2 children, and I mean, it's family of 4. When you call mother, father, a son, and a daughter. The daughter died in car accident, in bus accident. Then her brother came to, when she was brought to the emergency, her brother donated his blood. The doctor who was supposed to give the blood to the young woman, gave it to another person. The daughter died. The young man went crazy. He's called Kujawafi. So the whole play is about that family. Then the father disappeared completely from the family. He went, because he lost his son and he lost his daughter. So he disappeared completely. What remained? The mother alone. Since women are stronger in pain than men, she persevered, she became strong, she established a small cafeteria. Kandashuwe is like the place where you drink hot drinks, okay? She created a kandashuwe in the town, and she was there. And she was a beautiful woman. And everybody in the town was trying to cut her. Then she realized, and there was a man who was the elder brother of her husband who disappeared, was also claiming the right. He was claiming he has the right to marry her, but he suffers from cancer and he is bedridden. So when he came to her, she's asking him, and you don't have any capacity to be a husband for anybody. What do you want? Do you want me to feed you? You cannot be a husband. So when she realized this issue, everybody is asking her to marry him. She went to when this man was trying to force her to marry him as an inheritance, she went to the Qadi of the town. Qali. And then the Qadi himself, he's asking her, so when she realized that, she decided to marry 5 different men and remain with one lover. In the poem, at the end of the day, she is brought to the court people are asking, she is about to be killed with stones, you know, why is it pay? So she's supposed to be killed with stones. The Qadi will ask her, قنتي أدوبا قف حلمو أهانو أبها قبيح قبحد هو يدا قبيح قبحد لقوم الشيء أنت قادم واقع قصر حمادن بعد نقصيش كعتمي مركز شيء الآن سهل قاديو سؤاشا متى قرح سما قرر. He is asking her, your mother was a good person. You know, that is the way they normally, when they want to beat you down, they tell you, أبها وفعنا هو يدا وفعنا. ده تكو إذا الأنبياء هايين ملاك بالها. قاديو سؤاشا متى قرح سما قرر. وحيت المكة أن قلد واحد كبدعي واحد ما تقنصه. The mistake made by the individual. قلد واحد كبدعي وضع قصياي. She's talking to the court. She's talking to the whole people. قالت واحد كمان دعي وضعوا قصياي. أنت وضعوا قصياي. قلنا قالت إيحانون هذا قلنا ما لو ذكر. Do you share my pain? You think I embarrassed you? You think I ashamed you? Okay? Do you say my personal pain? قف أهانتي دحانوك إيه هاي. وقبل كستو Somali وحيد هذا. قف أنا حنون أهانك أنا شخص أهانتي دحانوك إيه هاي. Did you share it with me? Then والله ما ذي وحلا يلي قاضي هذا كودن بي قلت يا استاغو قلبي جلع سبورتي talk to the jury, make them know your pain and talk to them. مركز لا هاي and she's talking to them, she's saying and قلمي انتو قلمي توعده مو قلمي توعده قرك وأجي هايو سنتي القناة تنا معناها who knows قلمي في إنجليزي وش هذا قلمي يا قناة هذيك إنجليزي أقول فعلا انتو قلمي توعده مو قلمي توعده قرك وأجي هايو سنتي قناة تيو كارتن بين الدنيا قاتي عليه. When you look at قلمي is a type of a monkey in Africa. When you look at his face, he looks like a fox, okay? At the back side, he looks like a monkey. So they say when he is facing the fox, the one that want to hunt and eat it, when he's facing it, when they look at their face, they don't approach it because they think he's another fox. But when he turns, it starts chasing him. So she's talking about what happens to women. Where did we men and women become different? Why is everybody chasing me? And when I realized what I should do, that I should marry all these men of the village and keep a lover to myself, a younger man, and now I'm about to be stoned to death. So she explains the whole thing. Now in the end of the story, the issue is she's there seated. The judge tells her, go explain to the people what you did. Try to look for their sympathy. Then she says, "Umad Qays Qays wala yaqaan Qays wa wadaadka masaajidka Qays leeyahay. Umad Qays adeeco Quraan ruug u yahay sheekh qalida oo wax soo baray mid khaliijka joogo quraafi haween quraafo taqaan quraafo superstition. People who come from the Gulf, they know that. These people hate two things. They hate women and they hate what? Superstition. Umad Qays adeeco Quraan ruug u yahay sheekh mid khaliijka joogo qumanaanta suuq xiran qariyadan ku haysto quraafi haween nacab umad khaalis ka u ah qalbi jilacsan maaye qararkooda aan sugo. Let them do to me whatever they want. So that was a play. What I'm talking, I want to add something small here. And for me to reduce it from 32,000 words to 2,000 words, the poets in the room, I had to fast from speaking for like 20 days. That is when I realized importance of not talking, importance of not writing everything that comes to your mind. How many words do you use a day, young lady? How many words do you think you need in a day? No, you don't only need 50 words. Only 50. Tolo dan iyo waxaan oo idil waa dhamaatay. Marka gabay akhrinayso waxa arkaysaa markuu tagaya, when the poet is going to his village wuxuu leeyahay wuxuu leeyahay wuxuu leeyahay baska markuu ka degay bulshaqaad baskii waday qanax buu ahaayo jafjaf iyo qamaad iyo qalax jiir 6 saac cunay gaarsana qala socda markii Nairobi laga bax 6 saac soma qalax jiir 6 saac cunay anigoo qardoobu quxuble igayay markuu saa u qanaan dhigay qofkii koow degaan xigay look at that language qofkii koow degaan xigay I was second to the first person who descended from the bus. So after looking at it, I realized I don't need all these words to communicate. And that is what poetry is all about. Poetry is about reducing the number of words you use. It's not about just sometimes you may become in love with the words. You see words are beautiful, then you say 10 words in a place where you just need only 2 words. So the young writers, the young poets, please know the number of words you require in a verse. The idea is to reduce the words, not to increase them. The idea is not to talk a lot. The idea is to reduce everything and to make it condensed and brief. That is inta say u soo dhantahay waana soo dahay raaliga haw.
And this is my teamwork, Menhaj, Hibo, Mom, this is my daughters. Nice to meet you. So we're gonna do entrance and now after that we're gonna start in the Brambro and we're gonna show you what the Brambro is. Thank you. And Brambro waxaa lagu sameeyaa aroosyada, xalfadaha, soo dhaweynta, sii dhaweynta. We do the Brambro for wedding, events, bridesmaid, bride shower, sorry. So we do all the Somali events, we do the Brambro. So nice to meet you, all of you.
Okay. Buraanbur dhaqankeena weeyo madaxa fikru ay dubu dhaxalkeena weeyo madaxa fikru buraanbur dhaqanka hayga weeyo madaxa fikru ay dubu dhaxalka hayga weeyo madaxa fikru oo haddaan kasii yahay helu helaya haddaan kasii yahay helu helaya ay duwada xalgalo dhiga hay wada ay duwada xalgalo dhiga hay wada adulkeen ma joogna dhaqankay waa muhiim adulkeen ma joogno dhaqankeena yuusan dhumin shub haddaan halabuurki weynay hadraha weygalo haddaan halabuurki weynay hadraha weygalo hooyada Soomaaliyeed kiyu hadgarbuxo hooyada Soomaaliyeed kii u hagarbuxo oo hadalla fiican oo hela uga tirsho oo hadalla fiican oo hela uga tirsho hooyoy laabtaha midkii hal abuurayo hooyoy laabtaha midkii hal abuurayo ahadaraawi oo rumargaha rojanadiku ahadaraawi oo rumargaha rojanadiku amin waxay casuumay maahantoon ciseyn lahaa waxay casuumay maahantoon ciseyn lahaa waa kayd weeyahan ayaan iyo hanoya waxay casuumay caahawun ciseyn lahaa وكايتي وهي كردها عسينيا يا يعسوهم معاها ونعسين لها أردوني يا أنا معاها تلقاها جسمني عسي الصوم هاري هي وعاها ويه عسي الصوم هاري هي وعاها ويه أولي بحنا وهي كبهران عيارها قبله يحسوهم يحمها تضعها جسمني قبله يحسوهم يحمها فارمعين يا شوف مكا سكي نايس سكي نايس سكي نايس سكي عيارنا Sinjiga Somaliyeed baan salaamayaa Sinjiga Somaliyeed baan salaamayaa Soomaalida joogta dhammaha waan salaamayaa oo salaam guud weeye suugan haddaan dhexgalo oo salaam guud weeye suugan haddaan dhexgalo أكسد راعنا سنو Somali وياها أكسد راعنا سنو Somali وياها السداء وقبا قبيا هاي وأسلوه لها أو السداء وقبا قبيا هاي وأسلوه لها الصومالي ويا ما هو الصومالي وهي ما هو استاهلا قبله نو أباب لها ينا مهانيا قبله نو أباب لها ينا مهانيا أيام أصل وهي ما هو استاهلا أيام أصل وهي ما هو استاهلا ورهانو صغر وهي كبار سلوه لها أسيدينو ساعدين بل سلوه لها شوف Thank you for Kate, Somali Week actor.
So my name is Modeyn. I'm the founder of a project that I'm very passionate about called Somali Sideways. It started in 2014 and the book series started in 2018.
Okay, could you tell us a bit about women's stories and your inspiration behind it?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that question. Being a guy, writing women's stories. But I started this project because majority of the stories that I've gathered since 2014 have been about Somali women. They're the ones that have partaken in this project. So it made sense for me to focus on their stories and the achievements that they've made on the national, local, and international level. So, and of course, I have a lot of sisters at home. Being oldest in the family, they've helped me in the sense of many things, such as being at home and being the backbone of the family. My mother as well. And of course, a lot of people can relate. So that was one of the reasons why I started this project. So to basically show the Somali women, give them recognition on a global level, and as much as I can.
So what sort of advice and tips do you have for someone that wants to get into writing?
Okay, so with this book, I use Kindle publishing, so independent publishing. So Kindle publishing gives you the tools to publish your work, especially if your work is only words and no pictures involved. But my first book was through a publisher, because that involved a lot of photos, and the printing would look nice if it was through a publishing company and a publishing house. So that's what I did. So I would say, for those of you that are interested in writing, there shouldn't be anything stopping you because there's so many tools out there for you to use. So yeah.
Could you mention a few of the women that are in your book and where we can find it?
Yeah, so there's a lot of women that I've interviewed, such as Holland Alai, who passed away later on Isto. There were other women as well that were involved, such as Ilhan Omar. There were also community leaders in Sweden as well. The Rinkeby mothers, I don't know if you guys heard of them, they're in the book as well. So yeah, like I basically, a lot of people, women that are involved, they're recognized by the Somali community globally, and also I wanted to showcase the Somali women who deserve recognition on all levels.
Okay. And where can we find your book?
Yeah, so you can order it online. I also have copies over there. So if anyone's interested or would like to know more of the project, please feel free to speak to me. I may seem intimidating, but I'm not.
And if there was one thing that you'd hope for the audience today to do as a result of this panel, what would it be? Apart from purchase your book, of course.
Say that again.
One thing that you would hope for the people in the audience today to do as a result of our conversation, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say if you have a passion for something, pursue it. There's this concept of imposter syndrome, feeling that you're not qualified or able to do something. My suggestion is, a lot of the time when I first started this project, many people thought I was crazy, especially when I was taking photos of Somali standing sideways. A lot of people were thinking like, is this guy alright? Like, why is he doing that? And a lot of my friends, they didn't really see where I was going, but I carried on pursuing it, and here I am today talking about it. So it's just like, it's been almost 8 years. So I've traveled to over 30 countries, alhamdulillah, showcasing these stories and hosting book events and photo exhibitions throughout this time. So this project has enabled me to learn more about Somali culture, the Somali people, and also I learned a lot about myself along the way.
So on the topic of imposter syndrome, I want to get some of you guys involved in the conversation. What do you suggest on how to get over imposter syndrome? Because you guys stand up in front of big audiences and share your poetry, etc. So what do you guys suggest? Anyone can go. I'm going to hand you the microphone if you don't want to.
That's muted.
Ibrahim. Oh, go on. Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. You know what? I'm like suffering from imposter syndrome. I can share what I'm saying. But I think that the importance here is that people need to feel confident in their skin, especially if you're a poet. Really, what you're sharing with the world is your ideas, your deepest thoughts, the way you see the world, your personal philosophy. So that itself that you should be rooted in that. You should be rooted in yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you shouldn't really, I get when you go into certain spaces and you see people that don't really look like you and you feel like, should I really be here? To be honest, then you're lit, so just come on, shout it.
Do you want to go? Yeah.
For those of you that actually do have imposter syndrome, I'm in the trenches with you, don't worry. I would argue for you to get to the root, what is your trigger? What is triggering your imposter syndrome? It could be, for me, certainly in the past, I realized it's a fear of failure, and I realized it's a sense of perfectionism. More recently, when I work with great projects like Kane and other platforms, I feel more confident in my writing. And it takes time, it takes effort, but you just kind of got to work through it as well. That's what I say.
Okay. So where do you get the inspiration from your poetry? Do they come from different mediums, different sources?
Yeah, I think I started with writing about my identity, and I used that as a sort of source of inspiration to begin with. And then I think around the lockdown, I just kind of questioned whether I was limiting myself by just writing about that. So I think from there, I just tried to make an active effort to write about things I see on the street, everything and anything, because I feel like a lot of the times as a black poet, a Muslim poet, we can, just sort of box ourselves within those identities. So I think, like just a sort of mixture of writing about myself, but also just anything and everything.
Do you want to go?
So my inspiration actually came from a short story, so, personal experience. So, when I was in college, I used to work in a abaya shop, and it was like in a small mall. And I remember literally the lady opposite me was like to me, oh, because I used to do that then. She used to go to me, why do you always wear, why are you not, expressing yourself more with your clothing? And I was like, this is what I feel comfortable in. And so I think it was that constant thing where she keeps nagging me on it, like, why are you dressed like that, And, I wish I would say, I can say more to her that time, but obviously I kind of hold myself back. And I feel like poem for me, writing poems for me is like kind of a way of expressing myself in words. And, I don't usually go around, reciting poems. It's my second or third, I think, something like that. So for me, writing a poem is more like when people write diaries and just kind of tell themselves about, why they do certain things and maybe help them to overcome it. And, so that's what poem for me is.
So last question for everyone. What does tradition mean to you?
I can answer this one. I think one of the phenomena that we've seen is, especially online, is that we've seen tradition kind of relegated to just the aesthetics of a certain time period or a certain culture or a certain place. And I think that really, it doesn't really do Somali culture, Somali traditions, the language, it doesn't really do justice, right? I think when we're looking at traditions, especially in the Somali context, we need to really be looking at deeper, we need to be looking at, the poetry, we need to be looking at the conditions that the people lived in, we need to be looking at a whole array of things rather than just, continue, you know what I'm trying to say? It's deeper than that. And I think especially the roots of everything, when we talk about Somali tradition, Somali culture, Somali heritage, is really the language. That's where everything is, that's where the culture is. Language isn't just, so you can communicate to someone. Within it, there is experience, within it, there is history, within it, there is culture. So when the language is dying or is not being used, or certain, certain words kind of go away, it's not just people are, speaking to each other in that more. What is also going missing is pieces of history, is pieces of culture, pieces of traditions that have been there for thousands of years. So I think really when we're looking at Somali traditions, we need to look at it a bit more holistically, basically.
Yeah, just to add to that, I would say that tradition is a piece of history that is carried by the people. I would argue much of tradition is unsaid, its actions, mannerisms, its beliefs, and it is what I believe leads to good. And it usually starts with the previous generations.
Yeah, so with regards to my experiences with the Somali Service project, as I've mentioned, there was a lot of women that took part in this project, and I've always wondered where the Somali men at when I was interviewing them and trying to get them to talk about their experiences or whatever aspect of their lives. And I think in terms of tradition, normally...
Essentially just what you make it and just emerge with all of the different things that we bring and that we can sort of hold on to after it comes down all of the different generations.
So tradition for me is, so growing up obviously I wasn't really aware, but I wasn't really exposed much to the actual Somali culture except my family. So you will hear, sometimes I've been talking about certain things. So it literally, for some point in my life, I started to kind of hate the idea of culture just because of the way it was portrayed around you. Understand? So I think after some time, when kind of going into the Somali culture, kind of figuring out there's more to, Somali than Kabir. So I was able to, maybe express more of that and understand more of it. And so for me, traditions mostly do it, as Sada said, the way you see it. So it's more like, food, clothing you wear, just understanding the whole concept of Somali, culture. So that's what tradition for me is.
Amazing, thank you guys for sharing. Can we give a round of applause for everyone? Please do purchase this book from the side. Thank you guys. We have one performance from Anna Boyd at the end, and then